Hi everybody, hope you guys are great. I just wanted to share a couple exercises that help to create internal rotation of the femur bone, the thigh bone, the upper leg, and essentially the leg. And it's going to depend on if it's the whole leg or just the upper leg, depending on the asana or the pose that you're doing. But I just have a couple exercises, one that's really simple. They're both pretty simple and subtle. It just helps people understand the actions and the muscles that are being used to create this internal rotation of the thigh bone. And the two muscles in particular that we really utilize for internal rotation is the TFL, the tensor fasciae lata, which is an outer hip muscle, and the gluteus medius, which is also an outer hip muscle. So the tensor fasciae lata is a little bit more on this side of the hip, and the gluteus medius is a little bit further back, the posterior part of the body, kind of right outside here. So one place to start, I love to help people understand the counter poses, so both external rotation and internal rotation, is if you just stand in Tadasana and then allow your feet to turn out. So you're literally turning your thigh bones out. So this is external rotations. This is the opposite of internal rotation. And this, it's kind of like a ballerina. This just allows us to feel the opposite action. And then if we then take our feet, so this is more to an extreme, but turn our toes together, then we really feel the internal rotation of the femur bones, and you can feel the muscles of the outer hips working. So then, if you come back into Tadasana, this is one of my favorites. You take a block. So if you pretend that this block is a piece of Pez. So you remember those? Well, they still exist. So the Pez dispensers, right? So if you picture yourself as a Pez dispenser and the block is a piece of Pez. So you're going to take the block and place it in your upper inner thighs. And what I love about the block between the inner thighs is it really gives you something to push into, because it pushes back into you, so you really feel support, and it allows you to really feel the rotations of the femur bones in particular. So again, come into Tadasana with the block between your thighs, and you can just gently hug in towards your thighs. It's going to be pretty obvious that it's there. And then from here, you root down into your feet, you get strong in the legs, and you take both of your femur bones, your thigh bones, and think about trying to push that Pez back behind you. What will start to happen, so we pause for a second, sorry about that. What will start to happen is you'll get a little bit of softness right here in the hip flexors, right in the hip, where the hip creases, and the femur bones will draw back. Okay, so from the side, it looks like this. Stand nice and tall, strong, hug into the block, and then internally rotate both femur bones. Whoop, and you get that Pez to stick back behind you. And that's also, in turn, going to create more of an anterior tilt of the pelvis. So it's really great, too, to counterbalance that extreme internal rotation of both thigh bones, is just to gently allow the tailbone to draw down, the ribs to pull in a little bit, and just stand up nice and tall. So it's actually a lot of work. You may feel more of your inner thigh muscles working, but you will definitely feel that sense of internal rotation. Hope that helps.